Good morning, YouTube. What's going on? Today's first video, my first YouTube video ever, is going to be about Amazon FBA. I want to tell you guys the 4 different business models and their pros and cons to each and exactly what I do, which is the best one, by the way. Number 1, retail arbitrage. Retail arbitrage is when you're going down to the stores with your cell phone, with maybe like some sort of app. There's what are the 2 options? I think that's one of them is by Inventory Lab. I believe it's called Scoutify, and the other one is just the Amazon Seller Central app. I know that there's a few different ones, but the one that I use, I know that there are a few different ones, but those are the ones that I do. So this is when you're going up and down the aisles. Usually the best way to do this is to visit the clearance section first to see if you're gonna, because that's where you're gonna probably find at least something. And then other than that, is just going up and down the aisles and just scanning each product, just like this. 1 sec. Let's pretend that this is my scanner. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, that one works. In the back of every product, there's this thing called a UPC code, which is, I don't know, but it's just a simple barcode. Almost every product has it. And then when you scan it, the apps would be able to tell you the best sellers rank, the price it's selling at, the number of competition. The reason I like Scoutify more is because it also has the addition of being able to look at a Keepa chart. So that way you can tell if you're buying a product that's maybe out of season or, I don't know, something like that. There's a bunch of different things that will be a whole different video, I promise. Pros and cons to retail arbitrage. I like retail arbitrage because you can go into a store and you might be able to come out with product, maybe a few $100. I know people who do thousands of dollars in retail arbitrage every time, but they have their route set up. Another pro is that you can just hop into it quickly. There's no waiting for product to start. You can just go to a store, start scanning, and maybe bring some products home. Hopefully, if you're lucky, that first time you'll bring some products home. And you just prep them out and get them ready to ship off to Amazon. So it's all very simple, very straightforward, very easy to get into. All it takes is a little bit of hustle, a little bit of work, but then we're good. Now for the cons, reasons why I stopped doing it. My first con is that it does take a long time. I remember when I was doing retail arbitrage with my brother, we would go out for a few hours and only maybe buy like $200-300 worth of stuff. That is good stuff. Getting that much inventory is good stuff. However, it gets to a certain point where, all right, if you're doing that every single day, how are you going to scale? I decided to take a different approach that is better suited for us. By the way, RA is the acronym for retail arbitrage. So there's a bunch of different acronyms. RA, retail arbitrage. Another con with this one is that I'm not sure how you can scale it. Again, I heard in a podcast one time that there's this one guy who's a multi-million-dollar seller solely doing retail arbitrage, but what he does is that he trains people and pays them to go out and scan different stores. So I'm assuming that he has all the experience and he has his routes set up and he knows exactly where to target, how to target, and when to go. So if you decide to go the retail arbitrage way, you can do the same thing. You can replicate it. You can definitely replicate it. But you will need to learn your routes. You will need to learn your products, which all comes with starting a business. All right, guys. Number 2, online arbitrage. This is what I do. Before I even get started about how great it is, let me tell you what it is. Online arbitrage is pretty much the same thing as retail arbitrage, except this one except. Online arbitrage is online. I do not need to leave my house. I do not need to do anything. This is the perfect business for the introvert. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't got to go outside. You stay at home. You make money. Online arbitrage. So this consists of finding sales online, finding coupons, finding just products at a discount through different websites, and then just checking if if you're able to flip them on Amazon. This is the best One, why? Because there's tons of software out there that's going to help you make the best decision possible. There's software for helping you find products, helping you scan through stores. There's email automation software to help you get reviews. There's repricing. There's accounting software. There's Keepa. There's Keepa, the best one. And then there's a lot more different software that I'm forgetting about right now. But the point is, you can be making the most educated decisions possible. You don't have to leave your house. You can hire a prep center and you don't even have to touch the products. What's better than that? A business where you don't even have to you do not have to ever see your inventory. Someone else is doing that work. And you know what? There's something else. Virtual assistants. I recently hired 2 virtual assistants and they're helping me with analyzing all the results with tactical arbitrage. So, I mean, it gets to a certain point in this business where you can turn it where you're just buying product, which is where I'm trying to head at, to only have to work maybe 2 hours a day. That way I can work on my YouTube channel. I can work on any of my other business ventures. Oh, my Facebook group, which by the way, please join my Facebook group. I'm gonna leave a link in the comments, or in the description, I should say. And I want to be posting just more stuff about FBA, more stuff about business. Let me know. I want to hear what you guys have to say and just start building really that community of just trust with my followers. I want you guys to know that I'm just a human being behind this camera. I'm a real guy. I can help you. I'm going to try to help you as much as I can. The cons to online arbitrage are sometimes you are finding lower ROI products. Like maybe you are only finding 30 to 40%. However, to combat that, you can start buying higher price things. And so if you're getting a 30% ROI on a $80 product, it's better than a 30% ROI on a $5 product. You tell me. Another con is that you can spend a lot of, in the beginning, especially when you're just trying to figure it out, you're kind of just on the computer, just trying to figure everything out, just going through tons and tons of results. And but once you get over that hump, I'm telling you, it is a gold mine. You need to be there. Yeah, at least if you're interested in this business. Because, if you're not, leave it to us pros. All right, guys. Number 3, wholesale. Wholesale. So this one's a little different than the first 2. This is kind of like moving up in the Amazon hierarchy, where it's like retail arbitrage and online arbitrage are at the bottom, wholesale's in the middle, and then we have the king, private label. And we say it's the king because it can be the most passive, it can be the most lucrative, and it's just the king. I mean, you make the most money and it's probably the most passive. However, that one does involve the largest risk, but I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Right now, it's wholesale. Wholesale is when you're trying to make connections with distributors or manufacturers or just other wholesalers that's what they're called, to try to be able to get their catalog, scan through it, and see if there's anything you can sell on Amazon. So what's cool about this one is that this one is probably the most scalable, because it gets to a point where if you're just constantly opening new accounts with new distributors and new wholesalers, you can start just buying product in bulk, every single time, just reordering a bunch of products from all these different distributors, and you can really scale this up into something huge. There's some guys on YouTube, I forget their names, but I think they got so big that they had to get their own warehouse. I know someone that does that with online arbitrage, where they had to get a warehouse just to be able to manage their business. So I want you guys to remember, all 3 of these businesses are all 4 of these business models are very, very scalable if you make them that way. So wholesale, pros and cons of wholesale. Pros, scalability. There's no denying it. You can scale like crazy with this one. Second pro is that you can probably make this semi-passive. It'll be kind of like just reordering, and you can probably get a prep center or hire some employees if you don't want to do it yourself, or you can do it yourself if you don't care. I didn't care at first, and I still probably don't care, but like I said, my personal goal is to be able to have more time so I can work on different projects. And if I'm getting to a point where I'm spending whole days, if it's getting to a point where I'm spending whole days just prepping out products, that's time that I could be using for YouTube, or for just buying more product, or for any other one of my business ventures. Now let's move on to the cons. All right, first con of wholesale is that I hear that it's you guys ever do sales? It's a lot of no's before you get a yes. So a lot of distributors, they don't want to work with you if they don't want to work with Amazon sellers. So that can like be a little blow to morale, but who cares, man? I mean, all you need is one person to say yes, and then boom, your business is starting to get going. Second con is that I hear that the margins on these products or with wholesale are usually slimmer, but to combat that, you are going to be selling more. So yeah, you may be getting like a 30 or 20% ROI, but you'll be able to sell 20, 30, or 40 of them. So, you know, everything has its highs and its lows, and but overall, wholesale is another great one. Number 4, private label. Private label is one of the most exciting business opportunities on Amazon. You can start your own brand and launch a product on Amazon, and the stories you hear are crazy. The other day I heard of someone who started his Amazon journey, I don't know, about 18 months ago with a $5,000 investment. He was making tons of mistakes, but he was recording his YouTube journey. Now he says he makes $15,000 a month profit off that first product. I mean, what more do you want? It's passive. You did all the work, pretty much all the work up front. Once you find that product, you launch it and you're able to get the keywords correct and the PPC, you just kind of planted a tree, and now you're gonna just be eating from that tree and harvesting and harvesting. There's not much more work. You can also build your brand, which is probably like the smartest way, because if you're not, you're just kind of just constantly launching products without ever building something for real. So there's people who have grown their brand and have gotten so much brand loyalty that they've been able to sell it for a 6, 7, 8-figure exit. Imagine that. Imagine you being able to start your brand, doing some research, finding out this new market, this new hot niche, identifying a product that works out for you, being able to source it out in China and launching it, running PPC on it, you know, making it freaking work. And then before you know it, you have something that's working for you. And what if you just add a few more products, now you have a product line over your big main brand? It's really exciting stuff, honestly. That's going to be my next step. Once I get this to a point where, once I get my online arbitrage business to a point where it's like semi-passive, where I'm at 2 hours a day, and I'm getting the money that I'd like, I need to jump into private label, because 1, it's just exciting to me. 2, all right, we're not going to deny like the possibility of actually making real money here. So, not that you can't make real money on online arbitrage. You could definitely make a boatload of money there. But with private label, you do the work up front, and then it just becomes very passive, very residual. It's really awesome stuff. I wish I could tell you more about this, but I will tell you guys more just as I continue my journey. So right now, I want to master online arbitrage, and then my next step is going to be private label, man, because that is exciting stuff. Anyway, guys, if you made it this far, I know you guys are committed to making this work for you. I want to be here to help you. Again, I want to ask you to join my Facebook group. If you're in the New York area, I'm going to host a meetup group at some point. So please, I'm gonna provide a link down in the description below. Please, guys, if you like the video, like it, subscribe. I want to just constantly be putting out more stuff that's gonna help you. Just let me know. I'm your guy.